When a story changes 3 times in 48 hours, you aren't listening to an accident. You're listening to a narrative being built in real time. I'm Nolan Yahu of the Yahu Network, and this discussion is why the FBI has legal jurisdiction in the Nolan Wells case, but hasn't chose to use it? Time. July 4th, Horn Island, Mississippi. An 18-year-old black American college football player named Nolan Wells goes out on a boat with a group of so-called friends. All of those friends were Caucasian. By the end of the weekend, his Caucasian friends come home, but Nolan does not. We're told to believe that Nolan voluntarily chose to stay behind, alone, miles off the coast of a remote island without his phone. But when you step back and look at the legal facts, that story breaks down. First, let's talk about jurisdiction, which means who actually has the legal power to investigate this. Horn Island isn't just a local county beach. It is part of the Gulf Islands National Seashore, federally owned parkland. Under Title 18, United States Code Section 7, the federal government has the direct legal power over crimes committed on national park property and ocean waters. That means the FBI and the Department of Justice don't have to wait for local permission to step in. They have the legal right to take this over today. Now look at the evidence that local officials rushed past. Look at the CTO emergency dispatch call. A teenager on a boat calls saying the vessel was sinking. A dispatcher asks is everyone okay, and the caller says everyone is fine. But then the call gets canceled midway before emergency help ever arrives. Question: why cancel emergency aid on open water while your boat is taking on water? What was happening on the boat that didn't match the calm story told to dispatchers? I'm sure by now all of you have heard the enhanced audio of that dispatch call, which, upon listening, pieces together a lot of the suspicions that many have had concerning what actually occurred on the boat. But that's not what I'm disputing today, even though it is highly suspicious. When Nolan's body was recovered 2 days later, he wasn't in swim trunks. He was found fully clothed, face down in the water. According to a Cajun Navy spokesman who admitted such on the Nancy Grace Show. An independent autopsy led by former D.C. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Roger Mitchell revealed deep soft tissue trauma to the back of Nolan's head, injury consistent with blunt force trauma before he died. Yet, before a full crime scene sweep was ever conducted on the island, public authorities signaled no immediate signs of foul play, which, amazingly enough, is the determination of a multitude of cases involving Black American deaths nationwide. No foul play? Every time. They failed to seal the island as an active crime scene. Key internal neck structures were missing from the body when it was handed over for an independent autopsy. That isn't just sloppy police work. Under federal criminal law, when private individuals align their stories and officials gloss over evidence, that triggers 3 major federal statutes. Number 1, 18 U.S.C. Section 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. This law makes it a federal crime for 2 or more people to plot together to violate someone's constitutional rights, including the right to life and equal protection under the law. Statute number 2, 18 U.S.C. Section 1512, Obstruction of Justice and Witness Tampering. This prohibits the changing of stories, hiding phone evidence, or misleading investigators to block a real investigation. Statute number 3, 18 U.S.C. Section 245, Federally Protected Activities. This prohibits citizens from hate-based or racial-motivated violence on federal parklands or waterways. See, history in Mississippi has taught us a painful, undeniable lesson. When local systems fail to aggressively investigate the death of a young black man, federal intervention isn't just an option. It is most times the only path to justice. When the audio contradicts the timeline, when the physical evidence contradicts official statements, and when local authorities protect the narrative instead of the victim, that is not an administrative mistake. Under Title 18 of the U.S. Code, that is a cover-up. And it is time for the U.S. Department of Justice to step in and bring federal conspiracy charges. This ain't my opinion on this matter. What I provided to you is why the federal government has jurisdiction over this case. Also, with the inconsistencies in the stories of those involved and the inconsistencies in local and state officials, that should bring about conspiracy on a federal level. The question is, if the FBI is in Ocean Springs, Mississippi investigating, why hasn't there been a federal conspiracy brought? This is what we should ask ourselves, and let us think about that. We'll continue to watch and see what comes of it. This is Malawan Yahu of the Yahu Network. All esteem to Yahu in the name of Yahushua Mashiach.